Hello, everyone. Today, I decided that I would share with the internet what I have been doing for the last 4 months. I am a huge fan of model trains and a huge fan of Lego. I do have Lego trains as well, but being a 90s kid, one thing that always kind of offset me about the Lego trains was when they switched from the 9-volt powered system to the battery powered system known as powered up, and prior to that, the RC system. I had been contemplating a long time in my mind on a cost effective way to resolve this problem. There's a lot of aftermarket companies out there that do produce 9-volt rail in various quantities, but I felt that this wasn't exactly the solution I was looking for, considering I had a large stock of model trains already, and I didn't feel that this was actually solving the problem that I was getting to the root of, which was cost effectiveness. Um, that being said, I looked at what I had laying around, and I had these two tables, some N scale trains, and a lot of base plates and bricks. And this is basically where I'm at so far. I welcome you all to the town of Littleville. Littleville is an N scale layout. It is not based off of any particular location. I would imagine somewhere in the Midwestern United States, where there's plenty of rolling plains but still hills. Somewhere where there's still lakes and streams but no ocean water. Um, that being said, we have a pretty simple layout here. We have a double outer line that one goes into this tunnel section here and comes out at the other end, while one is completely exposed in its loop. We do have some water sections where we feature some waterfallish features and some just rolling water. We have a field of flowers, some little Lego gimmicks here. We've got some Minecraft figures. We got a creeper and Steve, who's blissfully unaware of that creeper behind him. We've also got some scale buildings I've been testing and playing around with. These are from the Mini Scales series, the Mini Town series from Architect. That is the Bellagio Hotel, basically flipped in its not correct orientation, which it should be a sideways build held together with clips. But I have repurposed it into a standing clipped-in hotel. We do have a small micro apartment complex next to it and an individual house that's facing the other direction. That being said, I would say in this particular scale, next to the trains, these buildings are too small, so they probably will be removed, but they are good placeholders for now. That being said, I do think this skyscraper will stay, just because it is tall enough for the skyline that we have established at a particular moment. Although I do have another building right here that's a little more in scale with what's going on with the trains, and this is supposed to be a small hospital. So there's no interior to this just yet, but we do have a small outdoor balcony area, probably for smoking or whatever reason. We have a small helipad on top with some cheese slopes wedged into the clips and sides there. We've also got this beautiful little roundhouse shed slash workman shed for a locomotive to rest in or rolling stock. Unfortunately, it's not possible at the moment, as this track, or rather this siding, is also powered when the track is on. It's not isolated, so we will have to alter that in the future. We do have this wonderful rolling hill that I was able to design. It is flat. It is not exactly a facade. It's not hollow underneath. It is pretty hefty just because it has to be able to withstand a locomotive's derailment just in case something does derail around this corner. We have a myriad of pieces, some Lego, some not Lego. Um, I remember these big block rock pieces from my childhood. I don't remember if these are Lego or Mega Blocks or if they're even some other brand other than that. If anybody does know, let me know in the comments. I actually have two of those. So there's one there, and there's actually one right there underneath that pillar. There was also this tree that was part of it. It's kind of, you can tell it's definitely not Lego. It's a little more clunkier than everything else, but they do fit in studs perfectly. They were meant for Lego compatible stuff. So not entirely sure where those came from, but that being said, if anybody does know where they came from, or if anybody had those as a child and that was the name of the company that who produced those, just drop it in the comments. And we'd be very curious to know what that was. We do have a upper tunnel along with the lower tunnel. That's for this upper line here, which just kind of extends outward and around. That being said, I do want to do something maybe with this corner, kind of like a New York or Chicago kind of style thing, where there's a building here and the train passes through the building. Now, there might be some clearance issues there. We will have to worry about that just because this particular track has the Baldwin Centipede on it. This is a Broadway Limited locomotive. It was very expensive. It has sound, Paragon 2 inside. I believe it's a Tsunami. I'm not entirely sure, but it also has DCC capability. Right now we are running it off of DC power, but it does produce sound on DC power. It's just not controllable. We do have some little other Easter eggs hanging around here. We do have a miniature Millennium Falcon, which actually looks pretty good at this scale next to the Baldwin Centipede. Kind of funny, this little spaceship just showing up out of nowhere. And then we also have a micro set from the classic Space reboot with that robot. His hands have been recolored in black, and as you can see, instead of the tool on the back, he's got a spinner arm. We're going to go ahead and say that this particular lunar bot lost its companion and is traveling the universe on its own. Littleville is a pocket dimension that it discovered where everything is in miniature, although everything else seems to be in scale with itself. So it seems to be very confused about this process. This weird little black rounded slab we have over here is going to be the base of a station. I haven't quite gotten around to just that quite yet because I haven't figured out how I want to design the roof on that. That being said, that is all that we have at the particular moment for Littleville. Now, there are some things that I do have planned that I want to alter and edit. That being said, they might be good videos in the future if this one does well. I've only seen a handful of people make videos about using the model trains as the actual train, but then using Lego as a medium for things like buildings and structures and tunnels and bridges and so on and so forth. So, if you guys like what you are seeing and you want to see more, let me know. Like, subscribe to this video, comment on it. The more you react to it, the more I will understand if this is something you guys want to see more of or not. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video.